Welcome everybody to episode number 58 of Gaming Culture Radio. I'm your host Tyler, here for our final episode of E3 Week, joined with our entire team from Gaming Culture Radio, starting with Mike. How you doing, sir?
Not too bad, man. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm as fun a week as it is, I'm glad it's over.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, so up next, staff writer for XboxCulture.net, Graham, how you doing?
Doing awesome, and not just because we're through the bulk of this E3, pretty much through it all, but I've been doing good. Had some exciting announcements. Looking forward to playing a lot of things on my Switch, but we'll talk about that in the future. But things are good over here.
All right, and joining us is staff writer for XboxCulture.net, Eugene. How are you?
Oh man, it has been a exciting week, but also a very long week. So I'm glad to wrap things up so we can go back to our normal format. But it's been a great week. Yeah, exciting week and great week for podcasting for sure.
It has. So I think we're all ready for a little bit of a break, but it's been fun. It's been a great time getting a chance to chat with everybody in the community as much as we have over the last few days, and we look forward to doing it again next year. 1 year from now, not anytime sooner.
Yeah.
But no, it's been great, and we've actually grown a ton in the last week. So as a podcast, and we want to thank the community for that. And you can go to XboxCulture.net and PlayStationCulture.net for all the latest in gaming news. I know I have a review going up that I was hoping would get up before E3, but then E3 hit. So it's going up probably tomorrow. And I know, Eugene, you've got an article you're working on there too that we're all kind of contributing towards as far as like reactions to E3, correct?
Yep.
Right, cool.
We'll have the reactions, and then we'll also have a poll as well to vote for what the readers think, the readers and viewers think was the best of the E3.
Cool.
Because we do care what you guys think.
Yep. And we gave our community here a chance to vote for the winner of E3, and we'll talk about that when we get to the winner segment at the end of the show. But let's go ahead and jump in. So, or actually, Rami? I'm so sorry. Special guest joining us. I was getting into like my review, and then Wendy Eugene and all that stuff. So, anyway, joining us, special guest from XboxCulture.net. And here for the third time this week? We appreciate it, my friend.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
It's been a crazy week for E3 and just like all this nonsense we've been doing, but it's been a lot of fun coming on these podcasts.
Yeah, well, it's awesome.
Fun nonsense, though.
It is fun nonsense, and yeah, we first of all we appreciate it, and second of all, look forward to having you more in the future. But Rami Tabari is joining us. So how are you today?
I'm good, man. How you been?
Pretty good. I'm enjoying it. I've been on vacation all week, but it doesn't feel like it. So it's kind of
me too.
But so yeah. But anyway, like I said, head on over to XboxCulture.net and PlayStationCulture.net for all the latest in gaming news, and to take part in the conversation for our podcast community, head on over to Facebook and join the Gaming Culture Radio forums. When you're there, submit questions if they're read on the show. We have a monthly giveaway at the end of each month where we give away a pretty cool prize. If you one of your questions read on the show, you're automatically entered to win. So with that, we're going to go around the table and each say our favorite moment from E3. We're not going to get too in depth because we talked about all this stuff at length over the course of previous episodes. And if you want to listen to anything in depth, please go back and listen to the prior 5 episodes, all E3 related, where we cover all the conferences from E3. But let's start, Mike. Let's start with you. What was your biggest moment?
Well, the Xbox One X reveal was pretty big. If you talk about games, it's a toss up between Sea of Thieves and Anthem. Although okay. I'm definitely looking more forward to Thieves because that's just my kind of game. I just kind of like knocking around in games and just doing dumb crap the entire time. So
sure,
definitely Sea of Thieves. Definitely
all right.
Sea of Thieves.
So let's talk about Sea of Thieves. So they showed some new stuff. So they showed the limited quantities now of cannonballs. So you don't have endless supply to just fire away. There's now sharks in the water.
Yes.
So it requires some strategy and some bravery to go loot other ships that have sunk.
Right.
So what do you guys think? Do you think we're seeing more put into this game? Do you like where it's headed? Because it's slated for February release next year or around there, early 2018.
Yeah.
So do you like what we're seeing?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead.
Oh, absolutely. I wasn't... Whenever I saw Sea of Thieves at last year's E3, I didn't know what to think about it. I was excited for it. I'm like, man, this is a perfect pick up and play multiplayer game where it's focused on 4-player co-op, and you get together and you go on missions and adventures and going on islands, going to shipwrecks.
Right.
It's going to be a very strong co-op game, and it'll be great for not only a close-knit group of friends, but also jump and play with some new people online. That's what I miss most about gaming is the multiplayer and relationship aspect, getting online and meeting some other great players online. I think we basically here kind of met each other online through gaming. And that's what it's about. Back in the day, Left 4 Dead, a very huge 4-player co-op game, and met a lot of great people there. Call of Duty was the same way, met a lot of great people. Borderlands, I think this is another one of those games that you can meet new people and do things together and just enjoy gaming, because that's what it's about. It's not graphically impressive, but it doesn't have to be, because the gameplay aspect is so fantastic with it that I'm excited for playing this game as well. Graham?
Go ahead, Graham.
Oh yes, watching this game, like I just recently rewatched the trailer and the gameplay for it. I'm excited for this game. This game just screams online fun with friends and even people watching online. This is a great game for streaming, and I can see it just being a ton of laughs. And there's drinking in the game, and if you're drinking outside the game, that can still add a little more fun to it. Like
I think so.
Rum.
That always is fun.
I think rum is the drink of pirates, so gotta have some rum in you. But yeah, no, this game looks so much fun. Like I said, jumping into water and there's sharks coming at you, and you gotta avoid sharks to get to treasure. And basically, it's like a risk reward. Like if you get too like going further down and I wonder what's down here, you might just walk into a big shark.
The way they made it look, it's like there's like a proprietary timer for you to get down there and get what you want, get out of there before they actually do show up. And it was kind of weird looking at the sharks, because if I'm not mistaken, some of them were purple and had orca markings instead of shark markings on them.
Maybe.
Apparently, we have an echo.
We have an echo?
Yeah.
Who would that be?
I don't hear.
I'm not hearing it through mine, but let us know if that's any better.
But yeah, definitely give us a little input. But totally excited. Like the whole treasure maps and solving riddles and stuff like that. Like I'd be the smart one of the group solving the riddles, and you guys would be covering my back. No. But it just gives a lot of different depths to it, and firing out cannons and then firing on other ships and fighting. I'm just hoping that it all goes off for there to hitch or not too big of a problems, because they're going to need to do some patching, I'm sure, once all those people get on the server. But they've been testing it, so I got high hopes for this. But yeah, no, I'm excited for it. And you said it's February, which is a great time for it, a good release time. So definitely be jumping in on there, and hopefully people listening would want to watch this stream and watch me get eaten by a shark, which probably a good chance of happening.
Yeah. So have you guys had a chance to play the alpha yet?
Apparently you're
I
echoing,
haven't.
Graham.
No, I signed up for it but didn't get in yet.
I'm echoing.
Yeah, apparently.
I can hear it actually a little bit, Graham. I don't know if there's much you can do, but
yeah, it's only on our Twitch stream. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry. I don't hear too much over the audio, so we apologize. We'll work on that. And while we're on that note, everybody, we've gotten the feedback that we've had some background noise. We think we have a fix for that. So A, we thank you for your patience, and B, thanks for the feedback. We're going to get that fixed.
Yep.
So
Sea of Thieves does look great, but I think the biggest problem about it is, I'm concerned about how the griefing system is gonna work. Is it gonna be like Ark style, where you pretty much lose everything, or are you gonna lose a percentage of what you own? So that's the only iffy thing I'm concerned about.
From the alpha, I think you lost everything.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So is there a progression system in this game at all?
Nothing yet.
Nothing. I hope there is, because I want to be rewarded.
I mean, you're not gonna get anything if you're gonna lose everything Ark style. It's gonna be one of those nitty and gritty, very hard games.
They gotta put something in place, or they already have an idea what to put in place, because this game is also marketed at a younger audience too, family friendly sort of thing. So people don't like losing everything. That's
what scares me about the progression system too, though, is I don't want there to be a barrier to entry for this game. And I don't want people who pick it up 2 months in to run into people who've done nothing but play this game and have better ships, better weapons, better everything, and just get just get griefed for hours.
Yeah,
I
They
agree.
think it's fun.
Yeah, I agree with you
Yes,
there, but I want to have some kind of reward on my end. It doesn't have to be that the more time I play that I have the better stuff, but at least give me like a level progression, some kind of prestige or some kind of ranking, or even gold. Gold. Give me a gold amount, like where not necessarily where I buy better things, but where like, oh man, this guy's been playing this a while. He has over 1 million rubies or whatever they do it as, but that some kind of reward to show that I am progressing in the game, for all the time that I put in.
Well, I mean, what they did in Ark was they had 2 different servers. They had PvP and PvE. So maybe the more friendly one would be a PvE server if that's what they're going to do. I don't know if that's what they did in the alpha, though.
I have a funny feeling that even if they do that, if you get attacked while you still have stuff on board, and that's your chance of losing it. But if you get it back to home base or whatever home base may be when they figure it out, then it's no longer available to anybody else.
Yep. Yeah, once you loot and you get it back to the port or whatever, it's yours.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, yep.
Well, that's better.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm pretty sure they're going to make, quote unquote guild halls and stuff like that, where you can decorate it and find all these trinkets, and basically use it for stuff like that. So all of the time you spend out there isn't for nothing, just for gold and levels, because that gets boring after a while.
What happens when your ship gets destroyed? How does that work?
You
get
right now.
Yeah, you just respawn back at the port and get
okay. All right.
Yep.
Just don't let your ship to be destroyed, man. It's not that hard.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Let's go to Eugene. What was your number one moment or thing?
Man, I'm torn. I am torn because there's so many great moments. There's so many great games. I think I narrowed it down.
Just Dance.
I think I narrowed. So no, it wasn't Just Dance. That was one of those cringe moments for me. But I mean, I don't want to go into the other games that capture me, but Assassin's Creed looked wonderful. Evil Within was probably hands down the greatest trailer that I saw. And just several other games, Skull and Bones, look great. But I think whenever I think of the best game of E3, it's a game that I want to play right now. Like if you were to put it in front of me right now, like which game would I want to play? And there's only one game, and that's Super Mario Odyssey. Mm-hmm. Super Mario Odyssey. Just looking at the gameplay after the Treehouse Live. Looking at the gameplay, it's something I'm gonna play right now. I need some more games for my Switch library. It just looks fun. It looks fun. The world looks amazing. The depth and detail that they put in the different features and the different ways that you play the game. It kind of has an open world aspect where you travel to different worlds and towns. And then there's also good old Mario platforming as well, where you traverse into the walls. That's the game I'm most excited about. What do you guys think?
Right. It has been a long time since I've actually played a Mario game. I mean, I've got the Super Mario All-Stars cart on the Super Nintendo over here, but this looks like a ton of fun. There's just so much stuff going on in this one. Nothing. It seems so random to me, So that interests me big time. I saw Bowser in there, so I'm kind of wondering how all these battles are gonna go, because I didn't really see any attacks in the trailer. I didn't know if they had added any gameplay footage or not, but I don't know, man. I'm with you on this one. If I had a Switch right this second, I definitely would pick this up immediately if it was available.
Yeah, I mean, I was impressed with what I saw, and it definitely looks good. It looks like the type of tentpole game that Nintendo Switch can have, along with Zelda and maybe Splatoon, that's going to carry it through its first year. So I'm pretty hyped for it, and this is the game I've been waiting for Nintendo Switch. The reason I bought one in the first place. So yeah, I'm hyped for it.
Grammy?
Yeah, no.
I think it looks beautiful. Oh, Rami.
I don't know, Grammy, Rami. Yeah,
I know. Confusing.
I'll let the guest go first because I'm a nice guy like that. Go guest.
Oh, you're so sweet.
I try.
This game does look gorgeous. I'm totally predicting Game of the Year. I mean, it's just the level of innovation and the random things they throw in it that makes it such a new Mario experience. I think that's why it's gonna win, honestly.
Yeah, I guess at this point the question is how many non-Nintendo games are going to be nominated. because Zelda's an automatic nominee.
Yeah.
And it looks like Mario will be too, unless it's broken. and that won't happen because they never.
Yeah. When was the last time we had a broken Nintendo game? I mean, it's been a long time.
Well, they have partnered with Ubisoft, so.
Oh yeah.
Have faith.
They won't allow it. They won't allow it.
All right, so cool. Who's actually I'll go next, and I'll say
no one cares.
For
Get your own material.
You. I mean, me. No one cares about me. That's fine.
Oh no, Graham, go ahead. I'm sorry, you didn't chime in on.
I give it 2 thumbs up.
All right.
No, this game. I'm excited for this game. I haven't played a Mario game in a while. Like I had one for my 3DS. But it's not the same feel as this game would be, so I'm totally stoked for it. It's Mario nostalgia. The world looks great. The gameplay looks awesome. The whole idea with the hat, and you can be a freaking T-Rex, which that's amazing in my world. But no, I just want to keep reiterating what everyone's talking about. But I'm totally excited for this game, and I will pick this up on day one and play the crap out of it and enjoy every minute of it.
All right.
So now, Tyler.
All right.
To you.
For me, I've been looking forward to what's now the Xbox One X for a long time. So for me, it's got to be that. It's got to be finally seeing it, seeing what it looks like, seeing sadly how much it is. Even though the more I think about it, the less disappointed I am. And just what it can do. When we saw Forza hit the screen,
oh, it looks so good.
Holy crap!
Blew us away.
Yeah. And we were watching on Mixer, so we saw the 4K stream, and you saw in all of its 4K glory what this thing can do. It's night and day. And Graham, you and I were talking because we saw like the Assassin's Creed trailer in 4K running on One X, and then we saw that kind of some gameplay that wasn't in 4K.
Yeah.
And wasn't that some sort of difference?
It's a world of difference.
So, I don't know. I think we really wanted it to be $399 because that's what we wanted to pay. I still think that Microsoft had a chance to say this is the new standard at $399 rather than saying this is the premium only for the hardcores. But that's the decision they made. And I was going to buy one anyway. So I'm okay.
And they're still taking a loss at this price. So
I'm sure they are.
I don't think we can argue and complain about this price. Like, if we were picking prices, I would say free. Why is it not free? Well, obviously, for obvious reasons, not free. So $4.99 American, which sadly is way more expensive in my world, is still a good price. And it is a premium console. And you can't expect to get a premium console without paying a premium price. And there's other alternatives like the Xbox One S, which now it's still $50 off, so which is an amazing deal. But yeah, overall, I'm okay with this price.
By the way, Eugene, I should be getting points for this, even though I said it's going to be $4.49, and it is $4.49 in Europe. So,
well, you didn't.
I'm pretty sure you put a dollar sign, yeah.
But you're way off in.
I didn't put any
I will give you 1/8 of a point. How about that?
I'll give you 1/8 of my foot up your ass. How about that?
Ooh, kinky.
All right. Any other thoughts on the One X?
This thing's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it looks great, and if you got the money, then get it. I would. I am.
Yep. So. All right. Cool. So, Robbie, why don't you go ahead and go next?
Well, I'm super excited for Dragon Ball FighterZ most of all. That was the thing that really hit the money when I saw it on the Xbox's thing, because it looks like the most faithful adaptation of the anime to a fighting game, especially graphically, because almost every Dragon Ball Z fighting game up to date has been cel shaded to its core, and it looks ugly as hell. But this game actually makes it look like you're watching the anime and like you're actually playing the anime on the screen. And they're taking like the same formula that Marvel vs. Capcom is doing, and it looks like it's even doing it better. And I can't wait to play that game, and I can't wait to play it with friends too. I think it'll be the best experience a Dragon Ball fighting game has ever done.
No, this game is 3 versus 3, right?
Yeah.
So essentially, how does that work? Like, there's 3 fighting 3 on the map or on the screen at all times?
It's going to be like, have you ever played Marvel vs. Capcom?
No.
Okay. Well, in Marvel vs. Capcom, it's essentially a tag-in. So like you have 3 fighters on each side, and then you just tag your fighters in, and then they keep fighting, and then they have these like assist attacks too. They come in for like a second and do a move, and then back out. So,
okay. Maybe I've seen that. Was that just 2 versus 2 though, right? Or was that 3 versus 3?
No, Marvel vs. Capcom was 3 versus 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's each character has their own HP, and you can swap out at any time, and it requires a more tactical approach to fighting, because you get one character down to halfway HP, and then you swap out, and then like you said, you also have team attacks where you can do either a twofer, or you can do with all 3 do an ultimate attack. That's what it looks like this Dragon Ball Z game is doing. I'm excited for it. I watched more gameplay of it after the fact, and one thing I do notice about it, I hope it's a little bit more fast paced, because the gameplay I did see kind of looked a little bit slow, and I'm used to more of like Street Fighter Turbo, where it's just a lot more fast paced. Even Marvel vs. Capcom seemed a lot more fast paced, but I'm excited for the 3v3 element. I too played the Budokai games back in the day, and also Tenkaichi. I love Tenkaichi, even though it was a different format. It wasn't side scroller. It was more 3D in a world. But I too got excited whenever I saw this trailer. It looks great.
All right, cool. Anything else from anybody on that?
Well, I'd just say I don't really know much about it or the shows, but I watched it, and visually the game looks stunning. So I'll back
it is beautiful looking.
All right, cool. Graham, it's all you for the next 3 minutes. You got the next topic and the next segment. So go.
Nice to know everyone just took it all and left the leftovers me. But no, there's so many great ones to choose from. And the one that I was focused on didn't get taken. So it's not like I got no hatred towards you guys. So the one I'm going to pick is Wolfenstein 2 New Colossus. Oh. Now, there's no secret that I'm a huge Fallout fan. And along with that, I'm a big Bethesda fan as well. And when I was watching this, I didn't know what I was watching because I've never played any other ones, and I wasn't familiar with the whole the atmosphere of Wolfenstein. So when I was watching the trailers, I'm like, what is going on here? And then when I realized what game it was, because I see hints of Fallout in it, and Bethesda, to me, they don't really do much wrong in my eyes. So I bet you the characters are amazing, the gameplay is amazing, the story, and I'm just want to get lost into that world and just spend hours and hours just wandering around, and because basically I'm going into this completely foreign. Like I don't know how the game plays and all that stuff, but it looked great. The music seemed amazing, so I'm all in on that one.
What you're basically getting is an over-the-top shooter that uses a lot of heavy weapons. Like it is not a stealthy game at all. Mm-hmm. This is a Grambo game.
Yes, yes it is.
It is, and you'll like that part of it.
Yeah. So is it very story driven?
Yes.
Yes. Oh yeah. There's a good story in these games.
Yeah.
I mean, what Bethesda game doesn't have one? Honestly.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I can't say it's really linear because there's a lot of points, at least with the New Order, where you do have a home base. You don't get to freely travel or do anything like that. It is fairly linear, but there's start and stop moments where it's super fast paced and actiony, but there's also slow down points where you can actually talk with people and develop on characters and go into the story. It gets really fun. So do yourself a favor if you haven't yet and go back and play the New Order because it's one of my favorite first person shooters, and I actually think it won a lot of Game of the Year awards for the best first person shooter when it came out.
It did. It was considered like the surprise of the year. Honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll definitely take that advice, and definitely before I play this game, I would like to play the other ones and get some kind of backstory, and because is it same character continues over?
Yeah. The only
BJ Blazkowicz.
You just need to play the New Order or whatever.
Yeah.
That's the only one that you need to play.
Okay.
Because this is a direct sequel to that.
Duly noted.
Yeah, I was mind blown when I saw him in there because if my memory serves, he dies at the end of the first one, doesn't he?
Spoiler!
Oh, it's not spoiler if he's alive.
No. I think the way the Wolfenstein games work is they're like alternate universes, kind of. Which the story overall is an alternate universe where the Nazis won World War II and they take over the world. And there's like a faction movement that's going against that, and BJ Blazkowicz is part of that. So I think it is a sequel. It follows after the New Order, but I think it's kind of like an alternate storyline still.
Actually, because I watched a developer interview today. This is a direct sequel.
That's great. So something happened.
Yeah,
but, Wolfenstein is crazy, so you probably got revived or something, or
So if the cigarette smoking man can come back in X-Files after we literally watched him go up into ball flames in the series finale, then anything can happen. I mean, it's like
spoiler.
I know.
Okay, that was like 2002.
Spoiler.
2002, so, maybe even older than that. I mean, get over it.
But anyway, but no, it looked like he sacrificed himself, but there was definitely no visual proof of anything. So I think it looked like the door was left open for whichever creative direction they wanted to go, which is always smart storytelling. Sure. And trust me, Graham, it's not going to take anything away from the game for you.
No.
Know that piece, but
I don't feel like it will.
So, but yeah, it was one of my surprise and favorite games of that year. 2014? Yeah, that was the year that game came out. So, yeah, definitely, Graham, you should play it. It's not a super long game. I mean, you're talking like 10 hours the most to get through single player. So, yeah. Anybody else on that one?
Nay, sir.
All right, Graham, it's still you. Take us through the releases.
Still me. All right. So for those of you that thought that there wouldn't be a lot of new releases following the week of E3, well, I'm here to tell you that you are dead wrong. We actually have a lot of new titles coming at us next week from all systems. So let me tell you what you can get if you choose to do so. Okay, starting on the 20th of June, we have some PS4 titles that will share their release date with other platforms. We have Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood, Final Fantasy XIV Online, the Complete Edition, and Nex Machina, Death Machine. Now, all three of these, Machina, whatever, tomato. So you guys can tell me if I'm right or if they're wrong or if we're both right, which is not possible. But anyways, all three of these titles will also be available for the PC. Now, these next two PS4 titles will share their release dates with Xbox One. We have MXGP3, and you might think what that is, but the title says the official motocross video game. In case you didn't know, we talk about video games, so it's a video game. And the other game is Dead by Daylight. Now, both these titles will be released on the 20th. So over to the Xbox side of things, we have a release that will share its release date with PC players. This release is in the form of DLC, and this will be available on the 20th. And we have Dead Rising 4 Super Ultra Dead Rising 4 Mini Golf. Now that just sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, I don't know.
You threw me off.
Mini golf?
Mini golf.
I love my mini golf game.
And if you put Super Ultra into it, it's got to be pretty amazing. So for Xbox releases, we have Super Bomb Rush releasing on the 21st. And on the 23rd, we have Micro Machines World Series and Chess Ultra. Now, I don't know about you, but Micro Machines World Series, that sounds pretty amazing as well. Also releasing on the 23rd, we have a title that will be released on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and that is Get Even. I don't know much for this game, so check it out and let me know. So we're not done there, though. As I said before, we have new releases coming at us for all systems, and that includes the Nintendo Switch. So for the Nintendo Switch, releasing next week, we have Cave Story Plus, which I myself have pre-ordered. Looking forward to playing it. And also Oceanhorn Monster of Uncharted Seas. Cave Story releases on the 20th. And on the 23rd, you can get Oceanhorn Monster of Uncharted Seas. So as you see, guys, we might have been busy with E3, but there's still lots of games that can be played. So that's it for me.
All right. So speaking of E3, let's talk about the winners. Let's talk about who came out on top this week. We broke it into 3 different segments for us all to talk about. And in the interest of time, we can discuss these a little bit, but let's try not to get into like 10-minute debates over each one. Yeah. But first, we're going to go with the best game we saw at E3, and we'll see if we can get any sort of a consensus to have a winner here. But
best game, could this be like best trailer or overall game for gameplay or what?
Yeah,
I'm just clarifying the rules.
Now, okay, so let's say if it's like Death Stranding last year, a game we know we're not going to see for years and years, and then no. But if it's coming out this year or next, then yes.
Okay.
I think that's a fair rule. Like if it's coming out anytime in the next 18 months, it's a go. So, who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Well, no, you guys heard enough of me. Somebody else go.
Yeah.
I'm sick of hearing my own voice.
Go ahead, Eugene.
Okay. So this is just, we're talking about best game.
Yep, best game.
Guys got to put me on the spot with this one.
Take your time.
I'm gonna go. I talked about how Super Mario Odyssey, I want to play it now, but I think the game that will probably overall make the biggest impact is Anthem.
I knew you were gonna pick that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think the game that made the biggest impact will be Anthem. I wasn't too excited when I first watched the trailer, and I guess I kind of zoned out. I was talking to Graham earlier about it, but when I watched it a second time is when it really made that impression with me. It seems like a great, huge, expansive world. I mean, it has been touted already as an open world game. It has some multiplayer elements, kind of like it is 4-player co-op where you can join in together and do missions together. So it's kind of reminiscent of Borderlands and Destiny, doing missions together. But just how I really hope they're able to keep what they showed, because I mean, when you're in that one world and you're in the jungle, you're going through the jungle, and suddenly you're running through, you're going through huge gates and stuff, and then you jump underwater, and it looks like there's a completely different world down there. There's like a whole nother world down there. So this game just really looks it looks huge. Graphically, it looked beautiful running on the Xbox One X. I can't wait for the multiplayer aspect. So I think this is the big bet for the next few years. I think it might actually be whenever it comes out, it'll be a Destiny killer. I think it as big as it is, that it's going to impress everybody and kind of take over in the multiplayer aspect.
I gotta agree with him. I really do.
I was just gonna say, guys. By the way, we can double up here on these. We can say the same games.
We're gonna quadruple up at this point.
So, but I was gonna say one other thing too, Eugene. That it's been compared to Destiny a lot, right? And
but it's bigger. It's bigger though.
The lead EA guy that came out to introduce it at the Microsoft conference, he was on today, and he said that that the release of this game begins a quote 10-year journey for them. Does that sound familiar at all?
It sounds very familiar.
So just saying, it could very well be the next iteration of what we know as Destiny now. So, yeah. Or a direct competitor to it is what I guess what I mean.
Yeah. I think it's a killer. I think it's going to shut it down.
It might be. Not if it's console exclusive, though.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, if you get enough players between Xbox One, Xbox One X, I think that it still has. It could still do a lot. We'll just have to see. It just depends on what kind of focus they put in gameplay.
Well, it's not a console exclusive though.
Yeah. I was gonna say that they
launch.
If it was a console exclusive, Xbox would be gaining some points right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I'm interested to see how it runs on the Pro though versus the One X, because there's going to be a difference.
Oh yeah, the Pro is like garbage compared to the One X. I mean, come on.
So, no, I don't want our website shut down again.
But no. When you say true native 4K compared to rendered or made up 4K, then you can't really say that they're on equal turfs.
It's
fake.
Okay.
It's fake news 4K, Graham. So, Mike, it sounds like you were about to say Anthem.
Yeah, I was.
So what hit you?
I like the environment. I like how you can, choose your battles. Like they had that one big ass ape type of bear creature whooping everything around. And they're like, nah, we'll just keep going, And then they pull up on what seemed to be aliens, and then, basically rolled them with cluster rockets, and took the loot and
that
scrammed.
was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, I think it's a couple episodes ago, I really want to see what other terrain is out there. Do they have desert? Do they have snow? What else is out there? Or is it going to be all tropical jungle, sort of deal going on? So yeah, I have a funny feeling that this will end up probably being a Destiny killer as well, because I have a funny feeling that Destiny will still have load times and zones and stuff like that. And this looks pretty seamless so far. So we'll see. Yeah, I know. We'll see. There's a big we'll see there. All
right. Cool. Rami, how about you?
In the sake of not being redundant, because I would have said Anthem, because it's just one of those games that kind of blows you away.
Hey, but, if you believe it, say it. That's.
I mean, it truly does. But I'm just gonna pick something else for the sake of.
Okay.
God of War. God of War looked beautiful.
It did.
It looked amazing. It's like it's taking this whole new approach. It's going like it felt so Dark Souls to me, and I loved every second of it. Like I can't wait to get in there and like die over and over again. I'm just so excited for this game.
Plus the rumors that Eugene brought up the other day just made me 10 times more interested in the game than I already was.
What?
When you see the huge hammer in the background and the little hints that they give, like Eugene, you were hinting, or you were theorizing anyway, that this might actually be Thor's son.
Yeah, they brought it up last year, and I don't remember the story exactly, but the way they mentioned a name in the last gameplay trailer, and like some people did some research, because God of War actually has a lot of lore behind it. Like it goes into the old ones went into kind of Greek mythology, but this game kind of goes into Norse mythology with the world serpent and Thor and things like that. A name was mentioned, and I caught in the trailer watching the new God of War gameplay. Whenever the girl's talking to Kratos, she's like, "This kid needs a father," and just the way that she was presenting it, it's like, well, is Kratos his father? Because I just know there's going to be some kind of twist in the story. God of War does great with their storyline, that there's all kinds of side stories and backstories. Kratos himself has a lot of history. If you guys have never played the God of War games, I think there's something deeper here that we're not looking at.
In the trailer that just released, it really made it seem like that the son was Kratos' son, like biologically. So, which is kind of weird. Like I thought it wasn't at first, and then like it made it seem like he was. But I don't know. I'm just
and
like,
even in
you
the
just
first
need to
one,
bring on Jerry Springer and have the
test.
test.
It's Maury.
You are not
Maury.
the father.
Maury.
You are the
Yes,
father.
Maury does the test. Yes.
Maybe, just maybe, since it's been so long between the games, that he took up, work as a traveling salesman, and she's just like, you need to be around more. Okay.
Yeah.
This kid needs a father.
It's funny because I think at first they said like this Kratos is like a different reimagining of Kratos, like an alternate universe type thing. But this recent trailer makes it seem like it's the same Kratos from the old games. He just ended up in like a different realm or whatever, however they presented it. Which honestly, that makes me much more invested into this game.
And remind me, and I don't know if you guys played God of War Ascension.
No.
No. His family was killed, and I want to say it's his wife and his daughter.
Oh, that was in the first game.
Yeah, that was in the first one.
Was that in the first game? Okay, so
he murdered his family.
Yeah, because he is forced to by Ares, right? The actual God of War. He's kind of made to.
He was
that's why he's so angry.
I don't remember exactly, but
that's why he's so angry. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he started dating again.
So that's where it comes into play. That, and I don't want to talk, all about God of War, but it kind of makes me think that whenever he met this boy, which apparently he met him through his mother, because in the first trailer he's like, this belonged to your mother, so I think he's trying to fill in that gap that he had with his old family with this new kid, whether it's his son or not. I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be deep, and then it's going to bring in once we do see it, whenever we don't know, whenever we do see it. God of War just has amazing gameplay. It's a fantastic brawler.
Actually, it's slated for early next year.
Yeah, they put a window on it. It's at early 2018.
Yeah, but I'm skeptical.
Wow, skeptical. How the tables have turned.
He does have a reason, though. So
he does.
Okay, so, for me,
all right, Graham.
God of War was the whole reason why I bought a PS3, because I remember watching my buddy play it one time, and it was awesome. Like the fighting style, I just really, really, really enjoyed it. So I bought the PS3. I got the God of War collection. I worked my way through it. Really enjoy those games. I wasn't big on like the story for it. That's not what I was into. I was more like hack and slash and just throwing bodies and ripping them in half, and like it was fun stuff in my world. But I like the whole lore of it too. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this, because this one definitely looks more story driven than most God of Wars has been in my mind, anyways. And the way how he's got I'll put this in quotations, his son with him out, and they're like battling together, and there's like little team aspects and stuff like that. So they can go like some interesting directions with this. But yeah, no, as far as PlayStation games go, this is probably one of my more excited ones that I'm looking forward to. Now, I don't have a PS4 Pro, so playing this on a normal PS4, I don't know. I think I might have to wait out till I get actually a Pro so I can see it in all its beauty, because this game did look gorgeous. The backgrounds, the lighting, everything looked amazing in this game. So I'm looking forward to this game.
Yeah.
Who's next? So for me, so honorable mention first, and I've said many times through the conference that I think companies, especially like EA, could learn a lot from having emotion and feeling behind what they do. And because you see it and you feel it. But EA seems very corporate about everything. And that's true in trailers too. Like it makes you invest in an idea or a game, or not, based on how it's presented to you. If it's very, very procedural, like some trailers are, like just go shoot, and show different explosions, that doesn't invest me that much. But the trailer that we saw for The Evil Within 2 was one of the best video game trailers I've ever seen. It reminded me of like the old Gears of War trailer, where they're like sitting at the cafe, outside, and all of a sudden emergency happens or whatever. Yeah, like that good type of trailer. And I already pre-ordered the game. I love the first one anyway, but it says a lot about how impactful you can be with something like that in terms of telling a story and telling it the right way.
Yeah.
So I feel the need to tie break, because we do have a tie right now. So I love God of War. I think it's great, and I think it's going to be amazing. But the potential that Anthem has, we don't even know yet. All we know is that game looks amazing. It could be a Destiny killer. We don't know. We don't even know if it's going to be anything like Destiny. Mm-hmm. We just think it is. But that's the thing. This reminds me of when they showed the very quick clip of Titanfall at the end of the 2013 Microsoft conference. And then people got hyped for it, and everything we saw from it up until release was just amazing.
Yeah.
And it got people really excited. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to have to go with that one. God of War. And there's nothing wrong with being second. God of War is awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm going to buy that game on day one.
Mm-hmm.
But Anthem is just, it looks really impressive on so many different fronts to me. Go ahead, Graham.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to clear things up. I didn't pick God of War as my pick. I was just talking about it because he picked God of War.
Oh, well then what's your pick?
My pick has war in the title, but it's not
ignored again. Ignored again.
I know. I feel
like you were done. I thought you were done.
Yeah. Fighting out in the trees here. No, mine has a war in the title, but this is Shadow of War.
Oh, okay.
I'm excited for. And even watching the trailer, now that I know like the personalities of like all the other orcs, or whatever they're called, fancier titles, But yeah, like you can like control other ones, and they seem to all have the like personalities. So they put a lot of time into this game. Like the whole Nemesis system is amazing. The parts where they add with whatever, I forget the name now, Celebrimbor, how it's like shadow kills and like does like the domino effect. So no, I'm super excited for this game. This game looks like it's gonna be a lot more expansive than the other game was.
Yeah, it does.
And like it just reeks of lore of Middle Earth and Lord of the Rings, and I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. I think it's the best series out there, and I will argue with anyone. We're not here to argue it, but no, I'm definitely 100% all in on this one. This one's pre-ordered. It comes out later this year, so I don't have to wait a long time for it. Like God of War, if it does show up early next year, we don't quite know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, this is the game that I'm absolutely looking for. And I'll shout out honorable mention to Anthem, because I'm a huge Mass Effect fan. Well, the original trilogy. I haven't really played Andromeda enough to talk about that. But yeah, this game, it's BioWare. Like it's gonna have so many RPG elements to it and open world, and that trailer looked amazing. The gameplay looked amazing. In fact, you can like campaign with other people, co-op. But yeah, overall, Shadow War, that's mine. So
all right,
now you
awesome.
Guys can talk about it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Graham. I'm sorry, Graham. I still love you.
It's all good.
Any other thoughts on Shadow of War?
No, I pretty much summed it up.
Good game. Yeah.
It's a great game. It's going to be a lot of fun. I actually plan on playing it. Hopefully I get further into it than I got in the last one. It's just other stuff came out. That's
go finish it up, because that game, the way it ends is fantastic, and you almost feel invincible, at least to me anyway. Where
nice.
Yeah.
Just gotta put your head down and charge forward, man, and work you get through that game.
So as we've got a little more than 10 minutes left. So we gotta hit developer first. So let's just get around the table real quick, and your favorite developer and reason why at this conference.
Okay. I'm gonna have to give the slight edge to Microsoft because of the Xbox One X, but I was really happy with what Nintendo did. You know, they're coming through all the new games, Metroid, Odyssey, all that stuff. So I am really glad that they're working their asses off to get all this stuff out.
Okay.
And but I have to give it to Microsoft, because this is why. One, they showcased a new console. Obviously, is very powerful, far more powerful than any of the other ones out there. Two, they put out 42 games. 22 of them were console exclusive. 4K. They showed everything in 4K. So I got to give it to them because of that. But a close second would be Nintendo.
All right.
Nice.
So
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, for me, Bethesda. Man, is there a better company making games right now? Everything they do is so well done that they can make games set in the medieval times with dragons and stuff, and they can make shooters in alternate World War II universes and horror games and make them all worthy of 9s or above. And there's not many companies that can say that.
Yeah.
So to me, it's just not to mention their post-apocalyptic Fallout world. They do everything they do super well, and they showed up. I actually thought their conference started off a little slow this year. I think we knew we were going to see VR from them, and then the card game was okay. The Elder Scrolls Online was okay, but then when they hit with those last 2 trailers, that was amazing.
Yeah,
so that's all I got. Go ahead.
I'm going to second Bethesda because you're right. It did start out slow to me. I was actually like asking, what are they doing? Because I'm like, this is so cheesy. What is this Bethesda land? And then when they started like diving into it, I'm like, okay, this is good. So the way that they captured the audience and the way that they made their focus, the guy which I can't remember his name. Was it Todd Howard? It was
Pete Hines.
Pete Hines. Yeah, Pete Hines. We never saw Todd Howard.
Okay, yeah. So is Pete Hines. He came out and he's just like, guys, we're showing games that are coming out this year. We're not going to show you anything that you cannot play in 2017. This is E3 2017. So I really hope that, and other developers and other console makers said it this year, I hope that sets precedents because that's really what captured me about their conference was the timelines, the presentation, and it was just humorous. It was humorous and entertaining. Whenever the Evil Within, it kind of changed the tone of the conference. That whoa, what is this game? It's scary, thriller. It's a sequel that we didn't expect. And then when we got to the video for what was it, Leeson, when Wolfenstein 2.
Oh yeah, the TV show. Yeah,
yeah. They showed it started out with the TV show, and if you watch it again, you're like, man, there's German elements all over this trailer. But Wolfenstein looks fantastic. I think Bethesda, from a developer standpoint, I think they had one of the best conferences. Overall, I think they nailed it. I know we're not talking about console makers right now, but Bethesda did it for me. I'll second Bethesda.
Yeah, right. We're gonna have to wrap this up a little bit quicker, guys. So
yeah, I know. Graham, who's your winner?
All right, I picked Nintendo because no, I went with Nintendo because they gave everybody pretty much what they wanted and then some. And people are like even going offshoot is like, oh, I'd love to see a Metroid, but we're probably never going to get Metroid. And then boom, they announced Metroid. Didn't show anything of it, but they just let you know that they're listening and they are making it for the fans. But you get Metroid, you get Yoshi, not to mention Rocket League, like a huge third-party game, which, like, this game is still being played, and the fact now that it's cross-play, except for Sony, but we won't get into that. Yeah, and like I said, and Super Mario Odyssey, that when that game comes out, that's amazing, and, like, there's Fire Emblem for Fire Emblem fans, there's fans of Xenoblade Chronicles are getting a second one, Kirby, Pokemon announced. Like, they seem to just give the fans everything that they wanted, and kudos to that, because no one thought they were going to come out swinging this hard and just making all the right choices, and it was short and sweet. It don't need to be all this, like, people going on stage and the drumming and all that, like, hoo-ha. Like, basically we're here just to see games, know what's coming out, and get excited for it, and this game did it for me. So I'm done.
Right. Cool. Ronnie, what do you got?
I think Nintendo won, man, because E3, you go to E3, you're supposed to sell us your product, and Nintendo did more with 25 minutes than any other company did. Like, that's it. They won in those 25 minutes. They did so much. Like, every game was something to be excited about, and I can't say that about any other company. So Nintendo won. That's it. Like, they gave everyone a reason to buy the Switch, and they succeeded.
Fair enough.
Totally fair. All right, so guys, in 3 minutes or less, we're going to go through the console war pieces here and determine who the winner was. So it's going to be either Sony, Microsoft, or Nintendo. I will tell you our fan vote on our site was over 2-1 in favor of Microsoft and the Xbox. And over Nintendo with Sony, I checked right before the show, Sony actually got 0 votes.
No love. No Sony love.
So, and just to let everybody know out there, we're trying to get through this quick because we have like a superstorm rolling in right now.
Yeah.
So, it's all right. I'm going to go first. Microsoft won. Microsoft showed 42 games, 22 exclusives. They showed off a brand new console that is, honestly, they promised a beast and they delivered on it. And Nintendo had a fantastic conference. Just not as many games, and it just wasn't quite there. So if we're holding everybody to the same standard, Microsoft just showed more. So I'll give the nod to them this year, and Sony, honestly, their slogan should have been coming 2018. So
yeah. So I'll go next. Sorry, were you done?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to lean. I was torn between Nintendo and Microsoft, and I'm gonna give it to Nintendo, just based solely on the fact of AAA first-party games. Yes, Microsoft did show a lot. They showed a lot of fantastic games, and the presentation was beautiful. And they kept their focus towards the fans, but they didn't show a lot of first-party games to me. They showed a lot of third-party games, and plus the messaging, which we're not going to get into it, but the whole exclusivity terms that they used. There's a lot of confusion with that, and then a lot more opened up after the conference. But whenever it comes to E3, which Sony, they showed a lot of first-party AAA titles, but elephant in the room, they didn't do well. they showed the exact same AAA titles that we saw last year. So
Yep.
I think we all agree that they didn't do well. I'm giving it towards Nintendo because they focused on the fans.
All right, Graham.
I'm gonna go with Nintendo. Obviously, I picked them before, but for like Microsoft, everything was like the games were beautiful. 4K was amazing, but overall, like Eugene said, more like exclusive AAA titles from Nintendo, and they gave me many titles that I want. And I own a Switch, and I want the whole world to own a Switch. So they gave the whole world many reasons to own a Switch. So go buy a Switch, people. You will not be disappointed.
All right, Mike.
Microsoft, for the same reasons you said. There's nothing else for me to say besides everything you listed off. So.
Before a tornado blows you away.
Yeah.
We've been trying to say that.
And Rami, take us home.
Quality versus quantity, baby. Nintendo wins.
Okay, so 2 for Microsoft, 3 for Nintendo. I think that's fair. I think both of them had outstanding conferences. Yeah. And I think it was a pretty fine line between the two who's better. So I think that's
we
very
might
awesome.
go back. We might go into it Nintendo actually into this argument because people thought Nintendo had to bow out, just start making software and give up on life. So it's good to see them butting heads with a big heavyweight like Microsoft.
Yeah,
I agree. So let's announce a winner and then let's get out of here. So, let me see if I get the name right. Bryant is the first name. I believe it's pronounced Johansson or Johansson. You are the winner of our final giveaway every 3 week. And I'll be sending a message off to you to get your address to send everything off. You win a $50 PlayStation gift card along with a bunch of other gaming memorabilia. Anything from, we have like a Gears of War figure to a couple statues, a couple other things. So some pretty cool stuff for you. Congratulations on that. As you can hear in the background,
congratulations.
As you can hear in the background, they're telling us we need to go. So we thank you so much for joining us for episode number 58. We're going to be off a little longer than normal. We're going to be back next Friday for episode number 59. So thank you so much for joining us. Raleigh, thank you for your help this week. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, man.
And it's been great having you on. We look forward to having you on more in the future. For Mike, Eugene, Graham, and Rami, I'm Tyler saying thank you so much. Head on over to our Facebook page, Gaming Culture Forums, Gaming Culture Radio Forums. Take part in the conversation there. We're going to get out of here before we get blown away. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Have a great week. And we'll talk to you next week. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Happy gaming, everyone.
Bye.
Go high.